Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. I know what you're probably thinking. Lamar Jackson. Rumors have been swirling for a while now, but recent reports suggest that this isn't just gossip anymore. It's starting to feel like a real possibility. Rumors from sources close to the league hint that the Green Bay Packers are in serious negotiations with the Baltimore Ravens to acquire Lamar Jackson, and the stakes are high. The rumor mill says the Packers are prepared to trade away 2 first-round picks in 2026, along with some additional draft assets to bring Jackson into the fold. This move could be a game-changer for the Packers, especially considering their current quarterback situation and the team's aspirations to contend for a Super Bowl in the upcoming seasons. Looking at the situation, the Ravens seem to be open to trading Jackson, especially with the team entering a rebuild after the departure of head coach John Harbaugh. The Ravens have a limited cap space of around $12 million after some recent moves, but they see the potential in a trade that could free up around $28 million in cap space. This financial flexibility could be used to bolster other areas, such as their defensive line, especially after a disappointing 2025 season where they finished 7-10, allowing an alarming 29 points per game. The Ravens are motivated to rebuild, and trading away their star quarterback might be part of a larger plan to reset their roster. Meanwhile, the Packers are sitting pretty with around $38 million in cap space, and they see Lamar Jackson as a perfect piece to elevate their offense to the next level. The idea is that Jackson, at 29 years old, remains one of the most electrifying dual-threat quarterbacks in the league. His passing and rushing ability could be exactly what the Packers need to push their offense from good to elite, especially with the current quarterback, Jordan Love, showing flashes, but also facing some durability issues. Love has been hampered by injuries, including a shoulder injury in Week 3 of 2025 that limited him to just 12 games and slightly hampered his production. Jackson's numbers this season have been impressive despite some injury setbacks. In 2025, he's thrown for over 800 yards, 28 touchdowns, and just 8 interceptions, completing 68.4% of his passes with a PFF grade of 91. 2. His EPA per play sits at 0.31, which is exceptional, and he's also run for over 800 yards with 9 rushing touchdowns. These stats mirror his career averages, and they show that Jackson continues to be a dynamic playmaker capable of transforming any offense he's part of. His career passing yards are nearly 16.0 with over 120 passing touchdowns, and he's accumulated close to 6.0 rushing yards with nearly 30 rushing scores. 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson is still in his prime, and his ability to scramble and make big-time throws makes him a nightmare for defenses. Historically, Jackson reminds many fans of a younger Michael Vick, someone who can completely change the complexion of a game with his mobility and arm strength. His scramble rate is around 12.2%, and he makes big throws when it counts, 38 in 2025, while maintaining a pressure evasion rate of 68%. His completion over expected sits at plus 3.8%, meaning he's often completing passes that most quarterbacks wouldn't even attempt. His air yards per attempt are 7.9, and his red zone efficiency hovers around 64%. These numbers show a quarterback who is not only talented but also clutch, especially in tight games. For the Ravens, this potential trade isn't just about moving on from Lamar Jackson, it's about retooling for a new chapter. After a decade of the Harbaugh era, the team is eager to embrace a rebuild. They have limited cap space, and with upcoming extensions for players like Madubuike and Bateman, trading Jackson could open up significant financial flexibility. The trade could net the Ravens around $28 million in cap space, which they plan to use to prioritize youth and rebuild a defense that struggled mightily in 2025. They allowed over 4.5 yards per carry and ranked 22nd in defensive DVOA. Their defense, especially their run defense, needs a serious overhaul, and moving Lamar could be part of that big-picture strategy. On the other hand, the Packers see this as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to elevate their offense to new heights. Their current offensive ranking in DVOA is around 22nd, and they're looking for a spark, someone who can not only extend plays but also create explosive opportunities. Lamar Jackson's arrival could boost the offense by approximately 40 total yards, with rushing yards jumping by about 30% to around 200 yards. His dual-threat ability would likely improve third-down conversions from around 40% to over 52%, making the Packers much more efficient on critical drives. The impact would be felt immediately, with increased explosiveness and a more unpredictable offense that defenses would struggle to contain. Statistically, Jackson's presence could also lead to a significant uptick in rushing touchdowns, projected around 12 total for the season, while also giving Jordan Love more RPO options, which could help him regain confidence and reduce turnovers. The Packers' offensive scheme would be more dynamic, and their ability to execute in clutch moments would improve, especially in cold weather games, where Jackson's mobility and playmaking ability are particularly advantageous. The forecast for the 2026 season could see the Packers finishing around 12-5, with a legitimate shot at deep playoff runs, especially if Jackson can stay healthy and continue to perform at his MVP caliber level. Now, from a broader perspective, this move would be reminiscent of the 2010 trade that brought Michael Vick to the Eagles, revitalizing a franchise that was in the midst of a rebuild. Jackson's addition could do the same for Green Bay, turning the team into a genuine Super Bowl contender and potentially reestablishing their dominance in the NFC North. His presence could also elevate the entire team, creating a ripple effect that benefits the defense as well. Opposing offenses might be forced to adjust to Lamar's dual threat, giving Reed and Watson opportunities to develop downfield routes, while the defense could benefit from a more aggressive pass rush, especially if the offense sustains longer drives and keeps the defense fresh. And let's not forget the impact on the betting odds. The Packers' Super Bowl odds could jump from around +8,500 to roughly +2,800 with the addition of Lamar Jackson. That's a massive shift, and it signals how highly analysts and fans alike are starting to view this potential move. Jackson's experience in clutch moments, especially in playoff games, makes him a true X-factor when it matters most. In divisional rounds, for instance, his ability to scramble and create plays under pressure could be the difference between an early exit and a deep playoff run. Plus, his performance in cold weather, something the Packers are all too familiar with, would give them a real advantage in postseason scenarios. Of course, there are questions about injury history and long-term durability, but Jackson has shown resilience. Outside of a couple of minor injuries, mostly in 2024 and 2025, he's largely been available and productive. His style of play inherently involves risk, but his ability to evade pressure and extend plays has kept him among the league's most exciting quarterbacks. The Packers would need to manage his workload and ensure he's protected, but with the right coaching staff and offensive line, Jackson's impact could be even greater. Ultimately, this potential trade marks a pivotal moment for the Packers. Bringing Lamar Jackson into Green Bay isn't just about adding a talented quarterback. It's about rewriting the team's future trajectory. It could turn them into a powerhouse capable of competing at the highest levels for years to come. This move could also reshape the NFC North, forcing rivals like the Vikings and Bears to reevaluate their strategies. The division might never be the same, especially if Jackson leads a resurgence in Green Bay that culminates in a Super Bowl victory. In conclusion, if this deal goes through, it would be a bold statement from the Packers, one that says they're all in on winning now and building a dynasty. Lamar Jackson's arrival would energize the fan base, elevate the team's status across the league, and potentially solidify his legacy as one of the greatest dual-threat quarterbacks in NFL history. It's a fascinating development that has fans buzzing, and if it happens, the entire league will be watching closely. For now, all we can do is wait and see if the Packers pull the trigger on what could be the most significant move of the offseason, one that could define the franchise for a generation. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential Lamar Jackson trade? Do you believe it's the move that can push the Packers over the top? Or are you worried about the risks involved? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. This is an exciting time to be a Packers fan, and whether or not this trade happens, one thing is for sure. The future looks bright, and the team is on the verge of something special.